So, okay, like you were told that this course is all about calculation, calculation, calculation. But that does not mean we won't talk story a little, but it's more of a calculation. But for us to look at, the topic is mathematics, so that is telling you that there is calculation. But before we start calculating, we must understand what is finance. What is finance? In a simple language, but I don't want to talk too much today. Finance is the study. You can write, you write. Finance is the study. Finance is the study of raising funds. Raising funds. That fund is money. Raising funds in order to invest. In order to invest productively. In order to invest it productively. When your investment is productive, that means the yield or the interest rate on it is doing well. So you can't just raise funds either through capital market where you can, seek for fund, invest, get the fund and go and throw it away. No, you must invest it productively. That's what finance is all about. And when you talk about finance, there are some other fields that finance has something to do with. This is what we call related fields of finance. First, finance has something to do with mathematics. It's related to this subject. It also has relationship with statistics. It also has relationship with probability. That means for you to talk about finance, the knowledge of mathematics is also important. Statistics is very good. Probability is also there. Another aspect, the one you just finished doing now, accounting. Because accounting talks about recording. But finance will analyze this record carefully to know whether we can do a very good thing with it. Another one is economics. We also need that. Another one is psychology. Psychology. When you talk about psychology, it studies human behavior. So somebody that wants to be employed in banking or in finance organization, we must check whether this place is in order. So that we don't give money to the person and we don't see the money again. So psychology is another area that finance is related to. Another thing to also look at is some of the branches of finance. Finance can be divided into, the branches here up to, let's say, 3. There's one we call corporate finance. Corporate finance. This corporate finance is that finance that deal with companies, organization, and that's what we are studying. 2810 is corporate world finance. Another name, they can also call it financial management. Financial management. Another type, we'll be talking about it could do with another one that has to do with banking. In banking, we talk about lending. There's a lender, there's a borrower. Are you following? For instance, you put your money in the bank, you are lending the bank your money. Then those who need the money will come to the bank and pick it and use it for what? Investment. All these are all the things we talk about as far as this course is concerned. But to go straight to the mathematics of what finance, when you are putting your money in the bank should calculate interest for you, and you want to put your money where you will have what? More interest. If a bank is giving me 10%, another is giving me 5, another is giving me 3, I want to go for the one that the money will be better. And in your process of investing your money, one thing should come into your mind. There's a term we call in this subject called time value of money. Time value. Time value of what? Money. This is a term that has to do with mathematics of what? Finance. Time value of money. It means that money has value based on what? Time. Money I collected today and the one I'm going to collect tomorrow. Tomorrow is future, right? The one of today has more value than the one of future. Do you agree? Because the one you collected today will not be affected with inflation. Is that okay? Or devaluation of currency. You can use that one today, invest and get what you want. So money today has more value compared to the one of tomorrow. And that time value of money is the interest that will be paid and the inflation. In this course, we worry about two things. Only two things. Those of us online, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Good. So in finance, we worry about two things. Worry about money and worry about the future. Money and what? Future. Why are we worrying about money? Where am I going to get it? Where will I? Who will give me? At what interest should they give it to me? That's how I worry about what? Money. I worry about future because of inflation or time value of what? Money. Because the money I'm going to invest today, I don't know what it will be in future based on what I've not seen. Because we never even know the country will be like this. Before it was better, but we don't know it will be like this. So an extent, somebody that went to Ghana, he came back on Thursday. He was just telling that he took 50,000 to Ghana, thinking that it's going to feel big. That 100,000 naira of naira is equal to 458 cities. I said, is it 450? He said, no, 400. It's not to 500 naira. Because he thought that when he get there, he's going to buy something. He went to attend the wedding. He thought he will buy something. So you can see the devaluation is so bad. So those are the time value that we look at in finance. Time value of money can make things to the world change. Mathematics of finance is what we're talking about. That means we will know how to calculate. Just like I said, you you need to have calculator, which is very important, a good one, not adding machine, scientific calculator, for you to run some of this calculation without stretch. Now, there are two types of way of calculating in most cases that you know very well. One is simple interest. You have heard of that one? Abi? You must have heard about it. Another one is what we call compound interest. Are you there? When you say simple interest, is what I believe you know. They will give you SI equal to PRT over what? 100. Or simple interest, it can be written as PRT. You may ignore 100 because the R here is rate. And rate is only associated with what? 100. This is simple what? Interest. This one is called compound interest. And that compound interest is written as P into 1 plus R all raised to power what? N. A here is the amount. A is the amount. And for us to get compound, but I don't need that one. What's important to me here is that this is simple interest. This is compound interest. This one, the difference between the two, this, the interest is calculated on the principal, which is the P. For here, the interest is calculated both on the principal and the interest. Bank does not use this. Hello? Bank does not use simple interest, but they use what? Compound interest. And that is why it's compound interest we'll be working on. This our A will change to what? FB. Our P Is present value or just P? Our 1 plus R will still remain the same. So we can now say FV is future value of money. PV or just P, present value of money. YR is the rate of interest. YN is the number of years. Remember, I just change A. A is amount. So what? Future value. And this is our formula that we'll be using as far as mathematics of finance is what? Concerned. You could be asked to find the future value of money when I know the present. If I know the money today, which is the present, PV is the present, money collected today. And I want to know how this money I collected today will grow into the future. What we do, we use a language. One is this one is compounding. These are some of the language. Even in your scheme of work, you will see them talk about compounding and discounting. Compound here means multiplication. Discount here means division. But sometimes your discounting can still mean compounding because when you are dividing, for instance, if I have this is 1 over what? Maybe R. You know the same thing as R raised to power minus 1, which means I can still say maybe a number is multiplying this, so it's still compounding. But because I'm dividing, we say it's what? Discount. Because I'm multiplying, it means I'm compounding. For instance, present value, I know it, and I want to get to future. The present value will be compounded by what? Plus R raised to power n. So be able to arrive at what? The future. Is it clear? Now, if I want to find present value when the future value is given, the future value will be discounted in order to get the present value. Did you get that? Remember what I said? Those of us are like how far?
I think you're too fast.
Yes, sir.
You said what? The guy that said I'm too fast. No. That's not a complaint. Let me just tell you so that you don't do that some other time. That's not a complaint. What you do is to ask what? Question. Ask question. If you ask question, we know where too fast is not a question. Please ask your question. Where is the problem? So that we can break it down. That's what matters to us. So you can ask your question. Where is the problem?
Okay, discount, the compounding and discounting.
That's what I want to hear. Go ahead. I'm hearing you. We are here to attend to you.
You said when you are discounting also, discounting is supposed to be
division.
Division, but when you are discounting also, you can be multiplying.
I understand. Yes, I know saying a mass. Watch, see what I'm trying to do. For instance, I have 40. This is 40 times 2. This 2 means I'm compounding, which means I'm multiplying. Agreed?
Yes.
Hello?
But yes.
Now, if let's assume, and I say 40 times 1 over 2. This is division, agreed?
Yes.
Which is something as 40 over 1, 2. But do you know that this 40 over 2 is still the same thing as 40 times 2 raised to power minus 1? Abi?
Yes.
You know that law of indices? Look at it. S raised to the power of minus n is 1 over s raised to power n. So whether I take this or this, it's still the same thing. So somebody seeing this 40 times 1 over 2 means I'm dividing 40 by 2. It also means that I'm multiplying 40 by 1 over 2. So it could be I'm compounding 40 by 1 over 2. Or I'm discounting 40 by what? 2. Is it clear? Hello? Are you still there?
It's clear, sir.
So whichever, good. So whichever one. So don't worry yourself, but we'll know. This is future value. I know present value. I'm compounding this present value, which means I'm multiplying this PV by this discount factor. Because this one is discount factor or compounding factor. But let's just leave that one. Let those grammar for now so that it don't get complicated. So with this, now this is our general formula to work on. Without wasting much of our time, we have left this. I want to now write the main formula for you again, properly written. There is 1 plus r all raised to power n. This is your main formula. As far as this topic is concerned, mathematics of finance, that is the formula. And as far as this particular course is concerned, if you do not understand what I'm saying now about mathematics of finance, there will be a problem as we are moving forward. Because it is this beginning, which is the mathematics of finance, that will shed light into what we call capital budgeting, whether 1 or 2, because capital budgeting has part 1 and part 2. So whichever one, either when it is risk or when there is no risk. But this formula will play a major role in most of the things we are going to do as far as finance is concerned. So it's better you master it. And if you don't understand, please just go straight to the point. Ask your question. Don't complain, but just ask it. And the solution will be dealt with. I hope you are getting me very well. Now, like I was saying, this is present value. The M you are seeing here is number of years. It could be 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, and so on. Now, another thing to look at, which I will just say, is that for you to talk about interest, there are some times your interest will be calculated once a year. When interest is calculated once a year, will not divide anything. The interest, this R will not be affected. That means they are paying us interest once a year. And there are times they can pay interest twice a year. That means they will tell that interest is compounded twice a year. Are you following? In that case, this my R will be affected. But if the person didn't tell us anything, it's always once a year. This is our general formula. But let's understand this one first before we start putting some, challenges that may be. So this is our formula, first one. And if you look at this formula, it's made up of 1, 2, 3, 4. That means there are 4 components. Examination question can tell us to find the future value when 1, 2, 3 are given. Examination question can tell us to find present value when future value, rate, and n are given. And all we need to do, we can also be asked to find what? R. I'm going to do that arithmetic. First one, this is the formula to find future value. And from this same formula, we can do what they call in arithmetic or mathematics, changing subject of what? Formula. Watch you. We can now say FV is equal to PV into 1 plus R. I want to get that. Nobody will tell you to prove it. Immediately I get the answer. You can just apply it. Remember, this is PV, Abi. This is attached to PV. I'll divide both sides by 1 plus R raised to power n. So in a simple language, our present value will be future value all over 1 plus R all raised to power n. You know that if I go further, don't want to bother myself, but if I go further, I can write this like this. Agreed? PV is something as F 1 plus R raised to power n. Do you agree? This is our formula. It can be this. I just gave you something up there. S raised to power minus n, Abi. That's what they call laws of indices. Which means if I have
Deborah,
two,
do you have
two.
living
Oh,
conditioner?
you know this one is done, Abi.
Do you have gel?
When I take it up, it has what?
What do you use to rub your hair?
Please
This
mute.
minus sign you are saying is inverse. Is that okay? So this is the formula. And what this formula is saying is that to get present value, Abi, the future what? Value has been discounted by the discounting factor, which is 1 over 1 plus r. Is that okay? So in a simple language, it means that discounting what? Factor is 1 over 1 plus r, or raised to power n, or 1 plus r, or raised to power minus n. So this 1 over 1 plus r raised to power n is the discount factor. Remember, this was the compounding factor. 1 plus what? R raised to power n without the n. Those of us online, is it clearer? We have defined on the board future value of money. We have defined on the board present value of money. How to calculate present value of money. How to calculate future value of money. Is that one clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
It's clear, sir.
So there are only two things. He said what? Okay, very good. Can I clean the board? Okay, let's just snap and show. Let's just, so that the thing will not be only alphabet. Let's see how figure will come. Because if the alphabet is too much, some people are easily confused. But let's see what we can do. But at least the formula, you must remember the formula. Because the formula, there's no table. Statistical table does not have the formula. It must be heard. Remember that this formula came from compound what? Interest. That was done in those days when still in a lower level. So it's still the same thing. No problem. Are you ready? I will take the question. Those of us online, let's just take a small question and see how the thing will look like. I will also participate. I hope your calculator is in well. Question 1 for today. Let's take it gradually. You must understand by fire, by force. You must. There is nothing. Haven't started this early. I know there is no reason why you will not get, except you don't want to get. But if you want to get, you must get. Just ask questions. Question 1. Those of us online, can you write? If you deposit 1,000 naira, if you deposit 1,000 naira, oh, let me do like this. Not much. So next time. We're not in a hurry. Let's put it on the board so that everybody will get it and master when we give. Question 1 for today. If you deposit 1,000 naira in a savings account, that pays 2% interest per year. Per year is still the same thing as per annum. Compounding These are the language you'll be seeing. Compounding annually. Compounding annually, that is compounding yearly. How much will you have in the account? In the account at the end of question A, 5 years. Question B, 10 years. Question C, 20 years. I hope those of us online, you can see the question clearly.
Yes, sir.
So with this, when you see, even without me solving this, solve is supposed to have been getting the answer. But because we are just starting, no problem. Immediately you see the question. One thing about finance is that you must read the question and understand what they are asking you. Here is very clear that they have given us the present value of it, which is how much? 1,000. They are giving us the interest rate, 2%.
Which is
They are giving us the
2%.
number of years. Number of years for question A is 5 years. That means N is 5. But what are we looking for? The future, right? Future
Yes.
value. So to solve this question 1A, our formula hasn't changed. This is the original formula to find future value. All what this subject or course entails that understand the question, know how to use your calculator, and do what they call substitution. So from all indication, present what? Value. These are present value.
1,000.
These are what? Rate. These are number of what? Years. Number of years. So everything is sorted out. So present value is 1,000. Rate is 2%. 2% means 2 divided by 100. And that's 0.02. 0.02. Are you there?
Yes.
Number of years we are solving question
You are
A.
interfering with the board, please.
Can you see the board?
Please, let's be permanently on mute. We are it's affecting the board. Please.
Okay. Some of us are not on. They are just talking. No. Some of them are not mute. So as a result, it's interrupting the board. Mute them so that when they want to ask, Okay. From all indication, future value, present value is 1,000. So we want to compound the present value to get the future value. And I believe this is very clear. This is 1.02 raised to power what? 5. If you have calculator, you press 1.02 raised to power 5 multiplied by 1,000. Those of us online, how far have you calculated for me? 1.02 raised to power 5 multiplied by 1,000. What's your result? Raised to power 5 multiplied by 1,000 naira. What do you have? Anybody? Those of us online, how far? 1,104 point. Call money now. That's all. The other ones don't go, no money. Even they do budget, sometimes they still put cover, even if it's not there. Those of us online, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Very good. That means you can solve B for me, Abi.
Yes, sir.
You can solve C. Don't waste time. I want to see something working so that we have seen how to find future value of money. We have all seen that. Anytime the question is asked this way and they talk about what will happen in future, it's future value. If they are talking about what will happen now, today, it means present. So these are the terms you need to understand. And when you understand this term, this course will become very interesting. Okay, you have done that one. Second one. 10 years. It's just words on the board, just to change it. They are not good. The last one, is not a difficult problem. Just follow the formula. Your life will never remain the same. That's just the same thing I wrote there is what you are looking at. Raised to power 10. So this is 1,485.94. Is it after this 4? Is there anything in front? What is the value? So it's going to be 95, Abi. You approximate. When a number is up to 5, you approximate. So then 1C is also the same thing. 1 plus R. Okay, well, how much is it? 1,002.99. Okay. Okay, is this second one that is like that? 4.95. Okay, good. Those of us online were able to arrive at this yourself. Make sure you are trying to practice the mistake makes perfection. And as you are beginning now, you are practicing, become part of you. Because we don't want to, exam is not tomorrow morning, you can't be rushed. We are taking it easy so that everybody just ask questions. If you don't understand, ask. Because when you say we are going fast, no, we can't be slow. No. Because if we make you slow, you're going to crawl like a snake. It's not good enough for exam. You go exam, come back, tell us, I know everything. Time, there was no time. We don't want to train students like that. We want to train those that will put there and say, I know everything, and I was able to finish. So just ask questions so that you can always be explained to. That's all. We're not in a hurry. But that does not mean we'll be crawling. Yes, that's better. Exactly. Okay, that's nothing. So you can see clearly that this one is a future value of money. But there's small thing we want to just add, small thing to this so that before we leave it. Now, like I told you, question 1A, 1B, 1C is on one thing. That the interest is paid by the bank once a year. They compounded once in a year. But what of whereby they are now compounding 2 times a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year? So the transaction will change. The way we are going to solve question 1A, 1B, 1C will be different. And that will only affect our interest rate. And there are formulas we must follow. When you follow that formula, everything will be in order. Sometimes we can compound. In a year, we can compound twice a year. That is semi-annually. Compounding could be, remember the compounding, the first one, compounding annually. That is once in a year. Compounding semi-annually. That means the interest will be paid twice in a year. Compounding quarterly. What does that mean? 4 times in a year. That means every 3 months, they give you something. They pay interest. They pay interest. In that case, you are compounding quarterly. Sometimes they will tell you they are compounding daily. Eh? Daily, every day they pay interest. What would do? That means 365 days in a year. Sometimes they say they are compounding fortnightly. Fortnightly means every 2 weeks. That means they are going to compound 26 times. If they are compounding weekly, 52 times in a year. So these are the things you need to look at. And that is what we are going to look at now. I will go get a formula for that. Anytime we are compounding annually, semi-annually, and so on and so forth, we will solve the question in that way. So I put another question on the board. Let me see. Okay. I will use what is on the board, but I will just change it small so that we don't waste too much time. This is question 2 for today. Question 2 says, if you deposit 1,000, I'm not changing much, in a savings account that pays 2% interest per annum, how much will you have in your account at the end of how much will you have in your at the end of
Is it still there? We can't hear you.
okay, weekly, fortnightly, and maybe EFG. Let's end with this one. This one is called continuously. Continuously. These are the things you can see in exam when they are looking for future value. Because we're in future value, I'm trying to make sure everything about future value is done. Future value can be asked to calculate annually, which we just did now. Can be asked to calculate quarterly, daily, semi-annually, weekly, fortnightly, continuously. It is that continuously that is different. It has its own special formula for that purpose. We have solved A before, Abi. We have solved A, Abi. A is already on the board. Question 2A. Agreed? You agree with me? Hey. So the result you solve 2A. This is already on the board because the question is saying annually. That means the interest rate is like that. No, calculation of that nature. Now, when they say quarterly, take note. I want to give a formula here. Okay, let me put it here. Generally, when it's compounding more than once in a year, when compounding is done more than once in a year, it has a special formula. See the formula? R divided by M.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, we can't hear him. Oh. Hello,
I think it should be network from their
can
side.
anybody hear me?
No.
I can hear you. I think it should be network from their side. We can't hear you. Hello, sir.
Those of us online, can you see the board?
But
Somebody say something. I hear the person. I can't hear.
Yes, we can now see the board, but we can't have any
Hello?
voice.
Wait.
We can't hear.
no, we could not see you for over 4 minutes. So
Speaking other language.
we could not see you for over 4 minutes.
Hello? Hearing come.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Is this anything? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Those of us online, any questions?
Sir, we didn't hear you. The presentation was frozen for more than 4 or 5 minutes.
Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now, but in the last 5 minutes, we couldn't hear what you
Can you
said.
hear? I think maybe you're not on me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Sir, we can
from
hear
one
you now.
indication, see the formula very well.
Yes, we can see, we can hear you now, but in the last 5 minutes, the presentation, we couldn't hear anything.
Okay. I know what I'm saying, but I need to hear. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Off on.
Of-
Sit up. Can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
We can hear you. But in the last 5 minutes, the presentation was frozen. We could not see you. We could not see the board. We could not hear anything in the last 5 minutes. Please.
Hello? Okay, no problem. You can hear. So, but look at the formula. Future value is equal to present value. Don't forget the formula is one whole number plus our R will be divided by number of times that we're going to combine. Let the number of times be M. So M is the number of times of compounding. While the number of years will be multiplied by that number of times, that will be the formula for us to calculate question B, C, D. So it's not so that I can fill in it. Okay, that's not problem. I can fill in. So having seen the formula, number 2D.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can't. Hello? You have TV R over R raised to power NN. So question 2B. Quarterly means 4 times a year. 4 times a year. 1,000. 1 plus 0.02 divided by 4. The number of years is 10. we multiply by 4. So that's how that will be.
Let me off that here.
Let me.
The battery down. Can you hear me? Hello?
Can hear you now. Can hear you.
Oh, wow.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Did you get anything?
No.
Okay, but the question you have seen question 2, Abi.
Yes, sir.
Very good. In that question 2, like I said, the future value we solved the other time was to find future value of money when interest rate is calculated once a year. But there are situations where interest rate can be calculated more than 2 times in a year. In that case, our formula for future value will change. If you look at the board now, you see me write future value equal to present value. The interest rate will be divided by the number of times the interest will be compounded in a year. And that's why I put M here. And that M will multiply the N as our power. So our M now is the number of times of compounding. For instance, question 2B says we should find compounding quarterly. In a year, there are 4 quarters. I hope you agree with me. Hello?
Yes, sir.
So, good. So our interest rate is 2%. So that 2% is 0.02. That is question 2B. We divide by 4. I multiply the number of years by what? 4. And that's what I'm doing here. 0.02 divided by 4 will give me 0.05. And everything will be raised to power 40. And I will now press my calculator. 1.005 raised to power 40 multiplied by 1,000 naira. And that will be the difference between the first one we did, that interest is calculated in a year, and this one that has more than 2 times in a year. So that's the only difference we need to apply as it relates to compounding more than once in a year. So I calculate 1.005 raised to the power of 40. Need calculator. Multiply by 1,000 naira, and that will give us 1,220.79 kobo. Is it like that? Did you get something like that? Did you calculate to confirm this? Good. The next question, if you are seeing it very well, 2B, we have just done 2B because it's quarterly. When it is daily, what do we do? Daily, we divide by what? Can you still recollect?
365 days.
Good. That's very good. So 2C. So that's the only thing with future value. Present value 1 plus R over M all raised to power NM. So this is still 1,000. 1 plus 0.0, that is 2%, divided by daily, that is divided by 365 days, because 365 days makes a year, all raised to power 10, multiplied by 365 days, and this is 1,000 into 1 plus, help me divide 0.02 divided by 360. So 0.02 divided by 360. Make sure you're pressing your calculator to know what we're doing. Everything I got here, I'm getting, the zeros are so many, but I want to use it like that. I don't want to reduce anything. The number of zeros is up to 4, 5, 4, 7, 9, 7, 4, 5. That's what my own calculator gives me. 3650. Is it all like that? So for more indication, I'm going to say 1 point all these zeros, but I can approximate it to 5. But if I do it 5, there's nothing wrong. You can stop here. You can stop here. I just decided to pack everything in the calculator. Ask. Number of compounding. There, I wrote there. Number of times of compounding. That means the number of times they pay interest in a year. That's the M. So for question B now, they pay interest 4 times a year, abi? Quarterly. For question C, they pay interest 365 times in a year. So that's what that M represents. So without wasting much of our time, if I like, if you like, let me just do it like this so that it will not be too much. This is better, abi? What is important is that. So let's do it that way. 1.000, you can approximate because that 0 is getting too much. So let's leave it like that. Raised to the power of 365, 0. To get answer, multiply by 1,000. It's giving us 1,200. 1,200. But if I have used this, you will see what will happen now. You can see that it's better I leave it the way it is. Let me follow that one because I think the figure is getting smaller. Let me use this one that I fixed. Let me use that for my one. We'll see what happens now to tell you. Sometimes when you approximate too much, it might affect the results. So 1.40547945 raised to the power of 3650 results multiplied by 1,000. You can see clearly that if I decided to approximate, my value will be different. So you leave it like that. Because when it comes to money, money sometimes there's how you can see that this should be more than this. But if I have removed all these ones, I got 1,200, which is wrong. So it's better you leave it like this. It is at the final answer, final result. You approximate. Any question, those of us online? That's question 2C. We have 2D. 2D says semi-annually. That is sometimes you may see them write biannually. Biannually is T2. Semi-annually is T2. So this one we're dividing by 2 alone. Future value, present, 1 plus r raised to power our m. Good. So we're dividing by 2. This is 1000. 0.02 divided by 2 because it's semi-annually raised to the power of 10 times 2. So from all indication, this is 1000. This should be very clear. 0.01 of it. Any question? Those of us online? So we have here 1000.
The board is no more clear.
Oh, the board is no more clear.
Yes, it's clear.
Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
The board is clear now, eh?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. So now, according to the question, that was semi-annually. We're having 1 point, pressing your calculator, 1 point, 1.01 raised to the power of 20 multiplied by 1000. It's giving us 1220 19 couple. So that's how to do it. What matters here is to understand when to divide and when not to divide. That's all. 2E talks about weekly. Formula hasn't changed for compounding more than once a year. When you compound more than once a year, the formula is like that for future value of money. 1 plus 0.2. That one was weekly, Abby. Weekly, that is 52 times a year. Weekly means 52 times a year. I hope it's clear to us. 52 times a year will give us this 1000. 1 plus, you divide 0.02. Divide by 52 times a year, giving us 0.00, 103. So do not bother yourself approximating. You just have to write everything down like that so that it does not affect our answer. 0.003846154 raised to the power of 520. So you press your calculator. The calculator will be it will now be 1.00003 times 383846 154. I believe 3 zeros, 1.3 zeros, 3846154 raised to the power of 520. You now multiply by that 1000 naira. And the result will be 121.36. You see, we have 121 here. Somehow similar, but it's quite different. So this is 36 cover, and that's how to handle that. There's another one, 2F. F is what? Fortnightly. Fortnightly means 2 weeks. That means I'll go divide by 26, Abi. Oh, yeah, now. Copy. And let's see what you can do with that F. Quickly run that one before I take the last one, which is G. The G has a special form. Those of online, did you hear me? I said you should try out the F. Fortnightly. Fortnightly means 2 weeks, and that will be 26 times in a year. The interest will be compounded. So the 2E, 52, you turn it to 26 and run the result. I will solve that of F myself because that one has a special formula. Anytime they talk about continuously, it's quite different. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
We divided by 2. 1,000.
221.
Good. Good. 1,000. 221, Abi. 31 come, Abi. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
everybody got that. So what you have seen, what you are taking home today, before I add that of G, is for you to understand when you are asked to find future value of money and you are given the present value of what? Money. You are aware that that present value of money will be compounded to give us the future value. And you also understand that the interest can be paid once a year, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. And when it's being paid more than once a year, the formula changes. It's only the R that will be divided, and while the number of years will be multiplied by the number of times of compounding. With that, you can solve any question as it relates to future value of money. Is it clear? The last one on this future value matter, which is 2G, it talks about continuously. That means it does not come to an end. It goes on. So when it is continuous, it has its own formula. It is its own formula to find future value. E here is our present value of it. E raised to power R N. Look at the formula very well. Look. Anytime the question mentions continuously, find the future value of money compounding continuously. That's the formula. This E is natural log. Natural what? Log. Now, and it's called exponent. It's in your calculator. Then replace the root E in your calculator. Have you seen it? E raised to power X. Anything like that in your own calculator? Is this scientific you are using? Okay, phone. And you still get it there. Or you get 3 points or 2 points. It will not give you your calculator. If it's scientific or even phone, you will see where they wrote E. Have you seen the E? Everything right as answer. It will give you something. And the E is 2.718 something. Okay, 82. Okay, 83. So we stop there like this. After 4 decimal. Yeah, okay. So this is the formula. So you can see everything is in order. We know P has 1,000. P has been given. R is 2%. N is 10 years. That's how to do future value for continuous. Those of us online, I hope you are following.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that's the special formula. If you are solving it, that's how to do it. It won't change. That's all. So anytime, what I've just done today is that I've been able to teach you or explain to you how to find future value of money. Compounding once a year, compounding 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 1 million times, and even continuously. So anytime you talk about future value of money, that is how to do it. And that is settled, I believe. So this is 1,000. This is times 2.7183 raised to power 0.2, I believe. 0.02 times 10. I believe that should be what we give. Let me check. Let me check the calculator. Point 2, Abi, times 10, Abi. Good. So what I'm going to just do now is to press my calculator. I'll press 2.7183 raised to power 0.2. 0.2. Then I'll multiply by 1,000. I should get 122, Abi. Is that what you arrive at? 1221.40 kobo. Any questions?
Please, I have a question.
Please do. So
Okay, what's the difference between the compounding continuously and compounding daily?
and the only difference is that formula for continuous. It's only continuous that has different formula. Other ones are normal. R over M, R over M, R over M, raised to power NM. But it's only this G that has a special formula for continuous. Continuous means it has no end, Abi. It's endless.
But you are still calculating it using 10 years. Using 10 years does not make it having no end.
Are you sure you are still following with us? The question mentioned 10 years. True or false? Hello?
Okay, so how do you relate 10 years and continuous? That's the problem. That's the challenge I'm having.
Okay, you are looking at okay, you are looking at I understand what you are looking at. You are looking at when something is continuous, it should not have year, Abi. That's what you are looking at. But that's not how it's being viewed in finance sector. Oh well, there must be a year, but the interest will keep on going on into the future. They will keep on continuing like that. They won't stop. That means in a year, the number of years they will pay interest does not have does not have a number. It's not the years we are talking about. Are you following? They will just be compounding continue. That means the interest, the number of times they pay interest in a year is uncountable. That's the meaning of continuous. But that does not mean the 10 years will not be there. So, but every year, the interest will be paid continuously. It will not stop. Non-stop every year. But that does not mean 10 years will not be here. As the number of years, the thing will lapse. And that's why we're able to get a value because there is a year. But interest payment will be continuous every year. Is that okay?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
So that's the formula, and those are the formula given to us by those who came before us, and we cannot fault.
Sir,
Yes?
is it to say
Go
that
ahead.
the interest, this continuous starts like saying maybe per second, the interest is being calculated per
That's
second?
it's interest, yes, continuous. It doesn't stop. It's going on. But it has nothing to do with the 10 years. That means yearly is continuous. And they will do that continuously for how many years? 10 years. So that is what it simply means. It doesn't mean that a number of years will not be there. But every year they just compound interest. Unlimited. It has no time. It's just running like that. And a formula to help us is what you have seen on the board. For 10 years they'll be paid. It's more than daily. Are you following? And we can't say seconds. But all we know is that it will not stop. The interest will be going like chain.
Sir, this formula should have, sir, this E, I believe this E should have basis. It should have basis and or root in mathematics or whatever.
Do you have calculator there? Hello?
Yes.
If you have calculator, you will see it there now. There's nothing we do here that is not math. That's what we say mathematics of finance. Without math, this finance can't go. Without mathematics, they can't work. So the E is there. That is the exponent. It's called exponent, the mathematics. As a mathematician myself, that's how that one is. You must understand that. So if I'm a true more like the person teaching you or lecturing you is a mathematician, is a finance guru, is also an accountant. So my first degree is BSc Finance. Second degree is MSc Mathematical Statistics. And the third degree is MSc Finance, all from University of Lagos, either in management or Faculty of Science, Mathematics Department, University of Lagos. So anything about mathematics, I'm equal to it. Others are finance lecturers, but they are not mathematicians and they are not statisticians. So I'm doing things because I know math, I know finance. And when you know math and you're doing finance, it will be very easy. So E is a mathematics and it's called exponent. You check your calculator, you see E raised to power X. And here is E raised to power 0.2. And the result came out. Any questions?
No, sir.
Good. So it is clear to me that when you see a question that is asking you for future value of money, they gave you present value, they gave you interest rate, they gave you number of years, you should be able to find future of value of money when it is compounded annually, which is once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year, daily, weekly. But when it comes to continuous, the formula changes like you saw in 2G. So let's move a little before we'll call it a day. Let's just move a little and see what this one will tell us. I'll look at present value some other time. But let's just do small arithmetic, which will still help us before we go. Now watch. I want to look at how to calculate. Uh, I want to just look at this small thing. Interest what? Rate. You know, our formula is made up of 4 components: future value, present value, interest rate, and number of years. We have succeeded in finding future value. We want to see how to find interest rate. And you can decide on your own to use this formula the way it is without doing anything to it. This is our formula, which you know very well. I can use it like this. They gave us future value. They gave me present value. They gave me number of years. They said I should find R. I'll do what they call change the subject of formula. But we can also address it like this. To create a formula, remember, is 1 plus R, or raised to power 1. You know, the coefficient, when we say coefficient, coefficient is that number or alphabet multiplying the unknown. For instance, this is 2x on the board, have it? 2x. 2x means 2 times x. So the coefficient of 2 is x. The coefficient of x is 2. So the coefficient of PV is what? 1 plus. So I will divide both sides by PV. If you divide this by present value, it will go like this. And you are left with this. Remember, this what you are seeing here is n, alphabet n. This n you are seeing means n over 1. Agree? And when you remove this n over 1, it becomes 1 over n. By saying future value, present value, all raised to power 1 over n equal to 1 plus r. Is it clear? Those of us online, how far? Did you see that simple mathematics or indices?
Yes, sir.
Good. That's law of indices. Very important. It's very important to know it. Now you know that raised to power 1 over n means n roots. So which means our formula can be like this. N roots of FV over PV equal to 1 plus R. I hope they concord it. Good. Now we can say FV over PV n roots minus 1 equal to R, have it? That means in a simple language, formula for R is the n roots of future value all over present what value minus 1. So this is a general formula of finding R. And you can also find R using what I have given you at the beginning. And I'm going to do that in 2 ways so that if anyone you like to use. Is it clear? That formula, you either use the formula the way it is from beginning, or you remember R the way I put it here, and then solve. We'll take a question and show you how that kind of formula will look like. All ready? Let's write on the board. This is question 3 for today. Suppose you invest 2,000 naira today 2,000 naira today, and you double your money. And you double your money after 5 years. And you double your money after 5 years. The question is now asking, what is the annual growth rate on your investment? Did you understand the question? Those of us online looking at that question, what are we looking for?
We are looking for the rate.
Rate. Now, what is the present value on the board?
The present value is 2,000.
What is the future value?
4,000, because it is doubled.
Good. You have already solved everything. You can use this formula on the board and you get answer. Or you use this first one and get the same answer. Let me see what you can do in a few minutes. Formula is on the board and you have calculator. Number of years is what? 5 years. So everything is taken care of. So that's the formula. It's as easy as that. %? 60 or 6%. Okay, those of us online alpha. I'm waiting. Those of us online, can you see here? I'm waiting. What's the answer?
6.1%.
6.1%. Okay, let's find out and know. 6.1 is still something like 6, but let's find out. No, let's find out whether, first of all, like I said, you can decide not to follow down my formula and start with this. I'll still use that one so that you can understand that anyone is okay. Future value in that question is 4,000. Present is 2,000. 1 plus r raised to power 5. You can do like this. Are you there? And this is 4,000 divided by 2,000 equal to 1 plus r all raised to power 5. And when you divide this, you get 2, 1 plus r raised to power 5. Is it okay by you? Removing the 5, it becomes 2 raised to power 1 over 5. And that is 1 plus r. It becomes 2 raised to power 0.2 equal to 1 plus r. And you know that 1 divided by 5 is 0.2, I believe. And with your calculator, you can press 2, you can press 2 raised to the power of 0.2. And we'll have a result. 2 raised to power 0.2. Okay, 0.2, yes. 0.2. And we're having 1 point. How much people say you get to? Okay, let's take the list. So let me press the calculator. 1 divided by 5, what do you have? 1 divided by 5, no, 0.2, which is okay, Abby. I press your calculator. 2 raised to power 0.2, what do you have? I don't know whether, because from what I'm seeing, missing or no get answer with that. One point one four, 87. That means I no get answer with that too. And this is 0.87, Abby. Change this one to percentage. So now give us 14.87%, Abby. So this should be the answer. I don't know how you did it. So that means you did not get answer. But let's try the formula. Anyone where you like may use, you get the same answer. Let's see it so that you can. That's why I decided to use the first one, so that you know that anyone you use, you must get the same answer, so that you don't go to exam and say because I use the other one. The two formula is in order. See the formula ID. This minus has nothing to do with our square root. It's alone. So from one indication, future value. Let me state it. Future value is 4,000. Present value is 2,000. Number of years is what? 5 years. We'll start. 4,000 divided by 2,000. Abi? Minus 1. And this one is 2. Abi? And the fifth root of 2. Even if you are using calculator, this fifth root, if you are using good calculator, there are some calculator you press, there is an S root. That place of S, you put 5. And this one, if you also press your calculator, fifth root of 2 is 1.14, just like what I got on the board outside. 87 minus 1. Is it clear? So you people have made the first mistake. I hope you have repented. So whichever one, whether you use this or that one, you'll get the same answer. How did you get 6%? How did 6 came? Let me see what you do. No.
5 square root 2.
No, it's not the same thing. No. See, there is difference between this. Let me show you. Because that is the knowledge of salt. There is difference between this 5 root 2. This one is 5 root 2. This one means 5 multiplied by root 2. And it's not the same thing with this. Are you seeing the way it is written? This is different from this. This one means fifth root of 2. Fifth root of 2. And fifth root of 2 simply means, look at the board, this is fifth root of 2. It means the same thing as 2 raised to power 1 over 5. Are you seeing the difference? This one is 5 multiplied by root 2. This is not what we're talking about. This is what I told you. And this one means fifth root of 2, which is the same thing as 2 raised to power 1 over 5. And that's what I did there when I was solving here. When I was solving the formula, are you not seeing it? And okay, I've cleaned that one. I remember I wrote first of all 1 over n, Abby. So that's how to handle it. Is it clear? Copy, I will give you another one now to try. Use any of the two formulas. Then we'll call it a day. I want to see what you can do with that. I'll give you just small thing now. You apply that same formula and see what you can do. So that means we have succeeded in teaching you how to find future value of money, compounding once a year, compounding 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then continuously.
Sir,
We have also taught you, yes?
Yeah, this formula, other formula here.
Which one?
2 raised to, okay, this is 2 raised to 0.2.
No, 2 raised to power 1 over 5. This 1 over 5, when you divide 1 over 5, you have 0.2, Abby?
Yes, 0.2. So this minus 1.1487 minus 1. How
One
this
number. If you look at the right hand side, what you had was 1 plus r, Abby?
Yes.
Then we want to make r the subject of formula. 1 will go and meet what is on the left hand side, and it will change from plus to what? Minus, Abby?
Okay.
And that's what we did in the formula originally, the one we did. This one I'm touching. That's why it's all minus 1.
Okay.
So you either use this formula or use that one. Anyone you decide to use at any point in time, you must get the same word result. Copy. I'm going to give you another one, just one question. You quickly try it so that this error I saw will not repeat itself. And on that note, we'll begin to call it a day. Let me see the question. I will write it. Just one small question. That one. This is number 4 for today. I want you to try it out. If present value is 1 naira, let's put it like that. Future value is 1 naira 50 kobo. Number of years is 4. R. Look for R. Now, look at the board, just follow it. Present value is known. Future value is known. Number of years known. Look for what? The growth rate. So let's see what you can do without making mistakes this time around. And let's get your answer. Those of us online, have you seen the question? attempt to any formula you like you use, whether the first one or the second one. Any of the two will give us the answer we want. Practice the same makes perfection. Make sure you are trying. And when you get home, you should try more. Look at what we have done. Close your book, resolve it over and over. It becomes part of you. As you are eating Christmas meat or chicken, use the other hand also to do something. 11. Okay. 10.6. Okay. Those of us online for any answer?
Ten point
7 point
10.67%.
10.67%. Okay. What's the answer? Okay. So those of us online, is it 10 point what? Which one? Any? Okay, it's not 5 root 2. No, they call it 5 root 2. It's fifth root of 2. This is 5 root 2. This is fifth root. Let me, you know, get calculator now. So on our phone. When you buy calculator, you will know. But I don't think, wait, I don't think it doesn't have this phone now. Your calculator will have that one, X. Buy scientific calculator. When you buy, you now ask question. Not just see whether you do it well. This is okay. Because 1/4 now, yes, that's the method. But if you have calculator, it's there. You just put the X easily. Not so. You don't try. So, those of us online, any question? Have you gotten the result? Any other question? Well, in the absence of questions.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
I
can hear you.
I got 10 point.
What did you get?
10.67.
Fine. That is the answer. I hope when you were solving it, you have something 1/4 on top, Abi, or 0.25, Abi.
Yes, sir.
No wahala. Except you still want, you like copying. Let's also write it so that you see. Let's just do it. If that will make you happy. Number 4. So we have here R equal to future value over present value. This is 4 here. Minus 1. So this is 1.5. 1.50, which is still the same thing. 1. 4th roots. Minus 1. And when you divide this, what do you have? 1.5 divided by 1. 0. What? Calculate for me. 1.5 divided by 1. What do you have? 0. What? It's still 1.5, Abi?
Yes, sir.
And this one I need now. What from 1.5 is written as 1.5 is about 1.5.
yeah, you press it for me. Or this will have that time. Let me see check. Let me check. 1.5 raised to the power of 25 for 1 point like this. I mean 6, 7, 7 minus 1. So give us 1.567. That's 10.67%. Is it clear? Those of you online? Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So I will show you the best. My name hasn't changed. I still remain author, Author Saint Vinn of this. This my number. In case you have question, time, and as years come to an end, if you have question, you can call and ask, provided just you are practicing the answer. So we explain to you, we are here to help. We are here to assist. We are here to make sure you know these things, and the Lord will surely bless you. On that note, God bless you. I wish you compliments of the season. See you when. All right.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, everybody online. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.